one of my a couple of my kids are into anime and you know, manga, that kind of thing, and there are series that are put out that are so long. There is so much material, and they spit it out so rapidly. It's been going for a long time, and there's, you know, obviously some famous ones
for many years, and they just come out with new chapters and everything else
all the time. There are books written in China, especially in Chinese. This happens a lot, although there's, you know, lit RPG and different genres that are in English as well, but that do this, but where they'll produce a chapter a day online. So you can be reading 5-10 books, stories at the same time, and they spit out a 5-page chapter once a day, and you just get to read it. And if you're a voracious reader, right? Because I was talking about the sort of idiocracy future where people's tastes have been so dumbed down, so satiated with short form content that they don't have the appetite for long form content. But for those who do have an appetite for it, they have, you know, some people have such a voracious appetite for reading, even when the translation from Chinese to English is relatively poor, because they just don't take the time to edit it. But the speed and the frequency and how much it comes out, how much volume
the market still appreciates getting the content, even if it's at a lower quality, because they're getting it faster and getting more of it.
So, you know, with AI, when AI gets to the point, because it will, if it's not already there, when AI gets to the point that it can generate that kind of content that maybe is slightly poorer quality than what a human could create in 2 years, but it can generate it every hour of every day, create as much content as any person could ever possibly want. Okay.
Yeah, and tailored to your likes.
And tailored to your taste. So that's another thing that I was going to get to is, so we talk about AI potentially taking human jobs, filling human creative roles. But on the demand side, I think AI, you know, a fascinating aspect that I don't hear very many people talk about is, I think the future that we're going to see is just like with, you know, streaming services right now, where you can just, you know, switch to whatever show you want to watch. Oh, I feel like I'm in the mood for this. You know, television used to be, you had a few channels and you just sit down and watch whatever they put on, suffer through the commercials, whatever. But now, and you know, and I'm going to switch to restaurants for a minute because I really like this analogy. You know, restaurants, you used to go into, and I'm going to say fast food in particular. You used to go in and you had, you know, items 1 through 10. You could order a number 1 or a number 5 or a number 7, and then you just got that meal.
Right.
When Subway came out, it was revolutionary because they didn't have it pre-made, and you just picked the item. You got to pick every topping that you wanted to go in or not. It was fully customizable. And that customizable menu option went to Mexican food with Chipotle, where they just have an assembly line. And you just go through and pick what you want. It's in pizza with, you know, whatever, Pyology or Blaze, or, you know, a number of them out there. It's happening more and more. And in our entertainment, I think we're going to be getting this more and more as well, where I want to customize the entertainment that I consume, and AI will be able to instantly generate. You tell it what kind of a movie or a story or whatever that you want, and it will create it for you on the spot. Now, what we lose a little bit is the phenomenon of being joined with other humans who are all appreciating the same piece of media.
And that's actually where I was going to go with it is,
but
if they can make it to where what you're watching matches what your friends are watching, well, then it can become
when you can share
the experience that you would share. Yeah. But if it's just tailored to you, that might be awesome, but it also likely would lose meaning because you cannot take it out of your own experience. And I think that's that's the downfall of that side, is it becomes completely a solo experience. There may be people that prefer it that way. In fact, I think there are people that now would prefer it that way. But I think that the general population needs a shared experience.
But we're getting a more fragmented society. We are having atomization of society happen so rapidly right now. It's a crisis, and I think you hear the crisis of loneliness is a common phrase that we hear talked about. I do agree it's a really big problem. This rise of technology that enables us to become more and more isolated, more and more self-focused rather than building connection with each other. I think humanity is rapidly losing its ability to connect and be bonded to each other. Anywhere where people have access to enough content that they can watch new things that they've never seen before 24/7. There's already that much content available for people
easily
to just consume all day, every day without stop, without ever interacting with another human. And I think we're just seeing this atomization happen. I don't know what the end of that road is, but AI stepping into that space where people already are more than happy. I watched a video today by a guy who was saying that he was talking to other men, single dating scene men, and he said, "Look, you're not competing anymore against other men in the marketplace for the attention of whatever woman you're trying to date. What she's thinking is, my choice is either being with this guy who chews too loudly or breathes too heavily or talks about things I'm not interested in. I could either be spending my time with him, or I could be by myself with a weighted blanket, giving myself a nice facial treatment, or whatever. I could be watching my favorite show, sipping a glass of wine, whatever." The competition is no longer between men for a single woman, or multiple men for a woman's attention.
Or vice versa.
From the perspective of the woman, it is a man competing against all of the non-human alternatives that she has, that she may very well be tempted to prefer. And this is happening across the board to everybody. And when we have AI that can step into that space and just generate whatever that person wants to consume,
it has the potential to enhance that.
Greatly
that
exacerbate
obstacle.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's turn it back now to talking about where you and I fall into this rapidly evolving future.
Yeah, and how we would apply it to our profession, our work as authors.
And us in particular.